Hi, everyone. Who I am doesn't really matter, but the story I'm about to tell, that's the part that'll keep you curious. It's called The Night Before My Sister's Wedding. My parents drugged me and cut off my hair. They said I was too distracting. They left a note telling me to focus on the speech. And when I walked into the kitchen the next morning, they acted like it was no big deal. But I didn't stay quiet. I took the mic and told the truth. What happened next? Let's just say no one expected it to end like this. Let me tell you how it all went down. I jolted awake to the nauseating sting of metal in the air. Sharp, cold, bitter, and this eerie lightness around my neck that screamed something was wrong. I stumbled to the mirror, heart thudding like it was trying to warn me. And there it was, my hair. My waist-length, shiny chestnut crown that took me years to grow and love. Butchered, not trimmed, not styled. Hacked off in random, cruel chunks like some twisted prank. For a second, I thought maybe I'd been attacked. A break-in. A nightmare. But no, the scissors were sitting right there, calm as ever on my dresser. My mom's ugly yellow craft scissors. The kind she used to cut coupons and receipts. Beside them, a neon sticky note like a slap in the face. You'll still look fine. Focus on your speech for Hannah's big day. Mom. I swear, my soul left my body for a second. The strands were still on my pillow like a murder scene. But it wasn't the hair that died. It was something inside me. See, that wedding was gonna be my one moment. My redemption arc. I had this navy silk dress that I bought with my own paycheck. No begging, no approval. Just me showing up proud, standing tall, finally being seen. But instead, I looked like a cautionary tale. When I walked into the kitchen, my dad didn't even blink. "Oh good, you're up." He mumbled between cereal bites. Less hair makes your face less distracting. My mom sipped her coffee. It's Hannah's day. Let her have her moment. Don't make it about you. They said it so casually. Like they hadn't drugged me with NyQuil lace tea and cut my damn hair while I slept. Like I was the problem for wanting to look nice at my own sister's wedding. They treated me like a spotlight thief. Like I was some backup dancer trying to upstage the star. Let me spell it out for you. I was never the golden child. Hannah got the new clothes, the ballet classes, and the Paris trip. I got thrift store jackets and lectures about being thankful. I moved out at 19, paid my way through school, and still say yes because I thought maybe. Maybe. This time we could be a family. Instead, they turned me into a prop. A cautionary example of what not to be, but they messed with the wrong daughter. Becca, my ride or die roommate, showed up the second I called, voice cracking. She took one look at me and froze. They did this on purpose. I nodded, tears silent. She didn't say anything at first. Then she pulled out her phone like a weapon. "We're not going to the wedding." She said, "We're going viral." I didn't want revenge. I just wanted space. But when we played back this voice memo, I'd recorded weeks ago for my therapist. Mom saying I was too much. Dad claiming pretty girls cause drama. It wasn't random. It was a pattern. A script they'd written for me since forever. That night, I made a decision. Not to fight, not to forgive, but to finally tell my story. Loud enough that they couldn't look away. I still showed up at that wedding. But not the way they imagined. No navy dress they mocked. No rehearsed toast full of fake affection. They handed me a script and I lit a match. I didn't sleep that night. Not a real sleep. Just adrenaline and ache. Becca sat beside me, turning the damage into defiance. She shaped my mangled hair into a sharp, jaw-hugging bob. "You look like someone who's about to burn a dynasty to the ground," she whispered, brushing away the last strand. By morning, I was fireproof. The venue was disgustingly perfect. All vineyard aesthetic and soft focus lighting, the kind of place made for curated Instagram posts and filtered smiles. Of course, Hannah's fantasy wedding, funded by my parents' last dime and their desperate need to put their golden girl on a pedestal. I wasn't supposed to exist in their picture-perfect story, but I did, and I wasn't blurry anymore. I showed up early to the rehearsal brunch, right before the curated chaos began. I had memorized the sweet little speech I was expected to give. The one about sisterhood and sparkle and childhood memories, carefully airbrushed. But when the mic was handed to me, I didn't read from their script. I smiled, steady and sharp. "Hi, everyone." I began, voice clear. "I know I'm not the daughter you brag about. That's always been obvious. But I have something else to say today." The air snapped. My mother's practiced smile cracked, just barely. "I want to talk about what happens outside the frame, behind the perfect family portraits, when love becomes a performance. And your silence, an expectation. You could hear a pin drop. I want to talk about being drugged with tea and waking up to scissors. About how people can clip your wings in the name of keeping you in line. I want to talk about how my parents tried to make me disappear. Not metaphorically. Literally, gasps. When Aunt stopped chewing mid-bite, my dad shot up, voice low. Enough. But I wasn't done. You don't get to silence me anymore. You don't get to turn me into a cautionary tale just because I don't make you proud in the way you planned." Then I pressed play. Her voice, my mother's, crisp and cruel. "She thinks she's prettier than Hannah. We'll fix that." Then his laugh. My father's, "We'll cut it while she sleeps. Girls like her need reminders." The room fell into a stunned hush. People turned, uncomfortable. Someone whispered, "Oh my God." I ended with one line. "You taught me to hide. Now I'm teaching you to be seen." Security escorted me out. My mother yelled. My dad called me hysterical. Hannah was sobbing, not because of what happened, but because my outburst ruined her wedding aesthetic. But the story didn't end in that vineyard. Becca uploaded the video, uncut, raw, titled, "This is what happens when family becomes a weapon." Within hours, it exploded. Millions of views, duets, hashtags, celebs reposting, TikTokers acting out the speech. DMs poured in from strangers saying, "Thank you, you spoke the truth I never could." But the peak, a week later, an email from a bridal magazine editor. "This isn't just drama, it's bravery. Would you be open to a feature titled, 'The Uninvited Sister Who Stole the Show?'" I said, "Hell yes." The photo shoot was electric. They wrapped me in silk and silver and did my makeup like armor. My new hair framed my face like a crown, not a scar. Every flash of the camera whispered, "You survived, and you're stunning." That day wasn't revenge, it was rebirth. 3 months later, no apology came, no awkward texts, no sad attempts at damage control. And I didn't need them, because the world had already watched it unfold. Talk shows debated it. Articles dissected every line. People talked about beauty politics, emotional abuse disguised as tradition, and what it means when silence is expected from the less favored daughter. Turns out, the girl they tried to hide became the woman everyone saw. I had become the face of every girl who'd ever been told to tone it down. Every sister erased in favor of someone more presentable. But this wasn't about going viral. It wasn't about fame. I wanted freedom. And to make damn sure no other girl got silenced for daring to take up space. It began with an unexpected email from a woman named Cynthia Ray, CEO of a luxury fashion brand, known for turning scandal into power. Her daughter had lived a similar story. She didn't offer me pity. She offered me a job. not just as a model, but as creative director of their newest campaign. You Can't Cut Power, photo shoots followed, panel invites, podcast interviews, a TEDx stage. I turned betrayal into a brand and pain into a movement. Meanwhile, back in suburbia, the fallout was deliciously predictable. The wedding crowd, once all smiles and hashtags, now ducked behind cereal aisles. The priest who officiated Hannah's fairy tale ceremony told his congregation, "Sometimes the real sin is what we hide behind family values." Greg, the groom, lasted 6 weeks. He found a box of printouts, anonymous comments trashing me online, all traced back to Hannah. Turns out she wasn't just complicit, she was obsessed. And now she was alone. And no, it didn't make me feel better. It made me feel nothing, because I was too busy building something they could never poison. Then Cynthia called again. "We're opening our first creative office in your hometown. Want to run it?" I laughed. "You're joking." "I'm not." She replied, "Imagine this. Same streets, same people, but now you're the one they try to impress." So I said yes. We opened a gorgeous glass-wrapped studio downtown. On the same road, my parents used to rush me past to get to Hannah's violin recitals. Right on the front window, in bold silver letters, "Power can't be cut." At launch, we hosted an open house. Local journalists came, artists, survivors, even a few of my high school bullies, now humbler, quieter, asking if we were hiring interns. And then they came. My parents, uninvited, unannounced. Mom in dark sunglasses like she could hide behind them. Dad, smaller than I remembered. Like guilt had shrunk him, they tried to act normal. "We're proud of you," my mother said quietly. I smiled. "That's new. I don't think you've said that since I got my braces off." My dad chuckled, awkward. "You know how families are, we all make mistakes." I stepped over to the front desk. "Would you like to leave a comment card? We actually read feedback here." They blinked, lost, otherwise. I added, "I have a room full of people who chose to be in my corner." As I turned away, I saw them, still frozen, out of place in a building I owned, surrounded by voices that had amplified mine, not muted it. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need revenge. The space spoke louder than any scar. But just before they pushed through the glass doors, I called after them. "No, and next time you try to break a daughter to uplift another, just remember, scissors dull, but some girls sharpen." They never returned, and I never needed them to, because I had finally learned. They didn't define my beauty, they didn't define my power, and they sure as hell didn't get to define my worth. Not with scissors, not with silence, not ever again. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new twist or inspiring journey. See you in the next video.